All right, next we have a new Guardians team coming out, the Imperial Guardians, which will be led by Gamora. This looks really awesome. This is coming out of the events of Imperial, of course. What makes me super excited about this is not only this really cool lineup that we have here, but also the fact that it's going to be written by Dan Abnett. Now, Dan Abnett created the original Guardians of the Galaxy team that we know today from the movies, right? With Rocket Raccoon and Star-Lord and Groot and all these, Gamora and everything else like that. That was all Dan Abnett. There was a Guardians of the Galaxy before that, but it's not really what we know today, and honestly, in my opinion, wasn't as good. So now we've got Dan Abnett, the writer that brought the original team together that we all know and love, coming back to do this again. I've also read some of Dan Abnett's work in the Warhammer 40K universe. I've read the first book of The Horus Heresy and the first book of Eyes the Horn. Love them both. Going to continue reading both of those series. This is going to be awesome. The addition of the Cosmic Ghost Rider on this team is absolutely insane. And then we have, Captain Marvel here, Gamora, Darkhawk, and Amadeus Cho Hulk. And let's read a little bit about what Dan Abnett is saying about this new series. With my original Guardians of the Galaxy, it was really a case of finding lost and beat up characters that weren't headlining anything and trying to rework them individually and as a group into something fun. But it can work in other ways too, as other writers have demonstrated, usually when you get a really unlikely or interesting combo of characters. With this book, the real hook is the premise. What are they doing and why? And the drama comes from how they deal with it and get to know each other. There's a lot of conflict within this team, but more on a personal level rather than open rivalry. I think it works really well in the spirit of Guardians of the Galaxy, but in an entertainingly different way. These guys are not plucky outsiders doing what they can. They are a professional and single-minded special ops squad. So a little bit different than the original Guardians of the Galaxy that were kind of fumbling around and trying to find a way to work together, but they still have their personal differences they're trying to work out. Of course, Dan Abnett is really great at doing these kind of character development and interpersonal relationships in his novels and in his comics, which is one of the things that I think made the original Guardians of the Galaxy so great, is that you really grew to love the characters and, the growth of those characters, with each other and the controversies they had, especially when Quill kind of initially tricked the Guardians of the Galaxy into becoming a team and they didn't like that. And there was all this, drama, quote unquote, in the original Guardians of the Galaxy, but I think it made the book really great. So I'm happy to see that he's bringing that to this iteration. He goes on to say, I'm very proud of it. I love Marvel Cosmic. Truly, I'll write as much of it as often as they let me. I feel like I'm coming to this fresh, bursting with cosmic blockbusters, and I want to build on the work I've done over the last 2 decades. So let's go all in on this book. I'm super excited for this. Dan Abnett is a great writer. Let me know if you're excited for this. If you've read any of Dan Abnett's other work, do you like the Guardians of the Galaxy team? What are your thoughts? Let me know in the comments.